Alright, we're on the home stretch and completing this Let's Play, so we better end things off in style, right? Yeah, we better. Ooh, goody. Extra life for the win. To start off things very strong. Hi everybody, this is RRPG here, and welcome back to another episode, and this is the last episode of RRPG Let's Play that covers Mega Man on the NES. In the previous episode, we went through the first two stages of Dr. Wily's Fortress, and in today's episode, we are going to finish things off strong in completing this game in its entirety. And we'll have to watch out for these guys and go down gracefully without there being any problems. And I think in this level too is when we go up against the other 4 robot masters that are in this stage. But we'll wait until we get to that. Now, when you're going through this area, you want to be very careful because the first hazard that's going to come along the way are the Penguin Missile Medusa heads. Yes, Penguin Missile Medusa heads. I'd like to see somebody on DeviantArt actually make that. Just, the Penguin Missiles, but have the Medusa head's hair on there with that really creepy expression. I'd like to see if somebody could actually try to challenge that. But anyway, the other type of Medusa heads we have to worry about are the Shark Missile Medusa heads, or the missile sharks that just explode after we destroy them with the regular Mega Buster cannon. Or just with laser ball projectiles. Now, as you can tell, I'm not even walking through this thing most of the time because with the water that is pushing us, this will actually be as good leverage to help us get done with those enemies. Actually, no. Since we're at level 3, we just easily get on with this boss. Huh, I didn't even realize that. Anyway, with this boss, you want to be chucking the Guts arm ability to throw the debris at this robot, and after you take it down with 4 times, then that's when you're going to want to use the regular Mega Buster cannon. And by taking it down with the regular Mega Buster cannon, you could actually take it down faster that way. And sometimes you may even get lucky and destroy the enemy in the process, but it won't always work. But we made it work, didn't we? Yeah, what a great way to start off the last episode. Okay, here we are at the home stretch. This is the last level of Dr. Wily's castle. And of course, they're going to give us a rude awakening by reintroducing these guys again. And to make things even harder, or to pour more salt to the wound, they actually have made us climb up the ladder to the left, to make things a bit more complicated. Thanks, game! Alright, but enough of my whining. Let's just leave them be, and throw that away, and which I think Cutman's ability, the Cutterang, will actually do the trick. And we're actually going to need to use that to take down the apparatuses from above, so that way they don't even try to hurl the laser ball projectiles, their own laser ball projectiles at us. But even if you do waste the weapon energy, there's actually a really significant way on how you can actually restore all your health before you go up against the last remaining Robot Masters in the second rematch and Dr. Wily. And it's going to prove to be very beneficial. So I'll show you exactly what I mean once we go right over here. And you're going to want to have the magnet, I wouldn't say magnet, but I would say the magic platform ability equipped. And you want to go down the ladder here. And just jump, and use this, and once you drop down here, and if you take a look at the weapon select screen, you can actually tell that all of our weapon energy has been refilled, as well as our regular energy. So let's go ahead and just make it over here, and we need to prepare ourselves for the worst, because the enemies that we're going to go up against are Bomb Man, we're going to go up against Gutsman, Iceman, and Fireman. And speaking of which, I think Bomb Man is actually our first Robot Master that we're going up against in the rematch. Yes, he is. And use that fire ability, because it will do a lot of damage to Bomb Man. Right, just like that. And then we go into the next room, and that is going to be Fireman, and we're going to have to use the ice ability as well. And just chuck the ice projectiles at him as fast as you can. Don't waste any time trying to, dodge his projectiles a lot, if you can, because most of the time you're pretty much going to wind up in a creek without a paddle by losing a lot of health that way. which is not always easy to take down this boss. And now our next enemy is going to be Iceman. And a really cool trick I did is right here. And while he's in that stationary position, try to chuck that electricity back at him, and then we defeat him that way. Okay, one more left, and that is Gutsman. And we need to use the bomb ability to actually try to chuck some damage at him. But evidently he's going to play hardball with us. And he kills us right off the bat, like that. He's usually very hard to take down at this particular state in the game. But since we're on the last level, might as well not complain, right? Anyway, since we have to start with Bomb Man all over again... Wait! He should be jumping! Why is he not jumping? Now that he is, but why wasn't he doing that in the first place? Oh, I don't know. But at least we took down Bomb Man with relative ease. Okay, that one's taken care of, and now it's time for us to move on to Iceman. I'll go ahead and get Electman's ability back out again. Oh, he dodged it. Now he doesn't anymore. Okay, now it's time for us to take on Mr. Gutsman, the most recognizable butt on all the internet, the Robot Master who is my most favorite. Go ahead and chuck that at him. Wait a minute, I was in the air and he still manages to, what do you call it? He manages to still, what is that word I'm looking for? He still manages to get me in a pinch, I guess. But anyway, since we defeated him there, that is the halfway point, and right beyond this passageway, in which there is an energy capsule that's right there, we actually do need to refill Fireman's ability. And with that, it's time for us to take down the final boss. And here we have that mad scientist himself, Mr. Dr. Wily. But he is very fast to defeat. Just watch out for the laser ball projectiles that he has on him because they will do an insignificant amount of damage. Like so! Alright. Third time's a charm to beat this stage, right? And you'll have to pardon me, I was chewing on ice. And every time when you restart this particular part of the stage, it will actually have that weapon energy capsule back in place so that way you can restore some of your energy. So think of that as an advantage when you're going up against the final boss. But it won't always work, so you're gonna have to be careful. Sometimes. Okay, that takes care of that one. Or it takes care of that instance. And notice that I'm using that glitch again to do a lot more damage on the mad scientist. But it's not going to always work, as you will have to restart that ability all over again, as it needs to hit that small crystal orb that's right in front of the Mad Doctor. And you have to hit it at the precise time before the electricity goes, or else you're not going to be able to land in perfect shots. Come on. Got him! And with that, Dr. Wily has been taken down for the count. And we have defeated, or we have beaten Mega Man 1 on the NES. And that's just the first instance in where Dr. Wily is going to grovel down like a little girl because he admits defeat. Even though he's a very deceitful guy. But anyway, after we beat that stage, that is where we get our reward of 200,000 points. Just like I showed you. And with that, we get a look at the ending. Epilogue. Mega Man has ended the evil domination of Dr. Wily and restored the world to peace. However, the never-ending battle continues until all destructive forces are defeated. You got that right. Fight, Mega Man, for everlasting peace! And with that, that brings us at the end of Mega Man on the NES. So, my final thoughts on this game. Well, after playing it, I will say that diehard fans will think that it holds up really well, but for me personally, even though I am a really big fan of Mega Man, there are certain aspects that I wish could have been improved significantly. And, oh hey, we're taking a look at Rock in his actual form, or Mega, as he's called in the United States, or where he's originally called Rock because of the phrase rock and roll, you know. But yes, I don't think it has aged very well, but certain aspects do, like some of the Robot Masters and the music. But for a game itself, just by itself, I'd say it's really not that bad. And I definitely think it's more for the hardcore fan base. So, if you haven't even checked out this game, be sure to pick it up on the Wii's Virtual Console for 500 Wii points, or you can pick it up on the PlayStation Network, where the first game, the second game, and the third game are released on there, and they're about $6 a pop because they're imports. But yeah, I think that's how much they are. And also, if you take a look on the screen there shows Rock, Roll, and Dr. Light, Mega Man's creator. And that is the final scene you will actually see of the game. And with that, as I said, Mega Man on the NES has come to a close. So, next time, to continue this trend of Mega Man's 25th anniversary, we're actually going to go to the next game in the series, which most people consider to be the best one in the overall franchise. But for me, I'd say it's debatable, but between that game and the third game, but it's still actually a pretty solid title. More solid than the first one, I will say. Alright gamers, if you like what you saw, then be sure to rate this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave me comments to let me know what you thought of this Let's Play. And be sure to stick glued to my Facebook and Twitter account for more updates coming from me in the future. And I will catch you next time when we get started with Mega Man 2. It will also be on the NES through the Wii's Virtual Console, which is what I'm playing this game on, by the way. So, alright gamers, take care of yourselves, and I shall see you in the next Let's Play. This is RRPG, signing off. Later gamers!